25th of July 2026. I'm just coming up to Hyde Park right now, and this is called a sing-in, snap sing-in for the Divine Playhouse. We followed along for the last couple of weeks, and you would pretty much see everything. Yeah, so we will just see what happens. But sorry, it's a bit loud. You probably can't hear me, let alone I can't hear myself, but it's very loud. But it will be, yeah, because that thing in the middle, offensive trade, was what it was accused of. Yeah, there's, you know, there's a fair bit to every story. So I follow from the last few weeks, and you can see a little more about it. But yeah, let's have a look and see what happens. Hopefully there'll be some speeches we can record.
What a beautiful protest we are going to have today. We're not starting just yet. We need to get the choir to the front. If you're in today's choir, please make yourself apparent. You're beautiful. Also,
right, they said they're not starting yet, but get the choir to the front.
Donated by different James and the Odd Culture Group. They're available over here. They are free. If you can make a donation to the GoFundMe, that would be really appreciated. So if you want to be offensive trade, just make yourself known over here. You grab a shirt, and please just donate to the GoFundMe. That would be amazing. We love you guys. Does anyone need to
Okay, something about the GoFundMe sign up. Anyway, I'll try and get to the front. It's going to kick off in a few minutes, and we'll hear the speeches and the obviously the choir as well. Okay, this is the beginning now, and the choir is starting. Yeah, I'd say there would be, well, several hundred, hard to guess, maybe, it's hard to know.
Good afternoon, gay people! Welcome!
Hello, hello, hello. My name is Victoria Falconer. I'm a cabaret artist, a musician, a theatre maker, and notorious bisexual. Hello. I care deeply about arts makers, about our queer community, and I believe in the importance of live performing arts as a transformational tool and a necessary condition for a thriving civilization.
My name is Jonny Hawkins, and I am a full cream faggot. I am a DJ, I am a theatre maker, and I am a Sydney loyalist. As a limp-wristed gay kid growing up on the Central Coast, I dreamed one day of moving to this city and meeting my people in spaces like the Divine Playhouse. Today is not just about a bar, it is about a space where we find each other, our watering holes are under threat, We need them to find each other and be a part of a bigger culture.
It is an honour for us to be here today on Gadigal land. Please make all the noise for Uncle Michael West.
I'd like to say for Jody Cabaret, g'day everyone, how are you? I can see there's a lot of love here, isn't there? Yes. Look, as an Aboriginal person, I understand about being marginalised, not being listened to. I like that song. It unfortunately didn't work for The Voice for us, did it? But maybe in the future, I think. And I was asking the DJ here, hoping to hear a couple of my favourite songs like Bronski Beat, Small Town Boy, yes, and Blue Monday by New Order. I love all different types of music. I love all different types of people. I love talking to them, and we love talking to them to learn their journey. My parents always taught me, look, treat people the way you want to be treated. I think that's a pretty good thing to go by, especially in the world that we live in now, where there's a lot of dictators out there and people marginalising other people. We need to all work together and walk together for better outcomes for us as a society, don't we? We do, don't we? I was at the opening night. Unfortunately, I couldn't stay because I had a head cold. But I did get to meet a lot of different people in that night, as we do through the Land Councillor, and we love learning from everyone. We love talking to the different elders, and I know the queer community's elders are the 78ers. We have talked to them a few times, and you know, they marched up here in the first marched up there. They were treated like Aboriginal people when you think about it. They were handcuffed, they were locked up, and they were belted with batons. So we understand your journey, and now we have a wonderful Mardi Gras where we're celebrated, where everyone's celebrated and coming together. Also, it was great, the World Pride. I did go to many events for that. I thought it was wonderful having a yarn with all the different people and that. And I was going to say, we need to be kind to each other. We need to be better humans, and we are only one race. It's the human race, isn't it? Yes, yes. Monoculture. If you want monoculture, probably move to North Korea. I think might be a way to go. It's a bit of a cult too, isn't it, when you think about it? And also we've seen monoculture in the past. It's Nazi Germany, when everyone, if you were queer, if you were the wrong religion, if you didn't... If you had disabilities, you were basically gone. And we need to think about these things. We don't want to repeat things like that, do we? We need to create a better world where we've got more love in it. I remember some guys saying, all you need is love. Love is all you need. Yes, I think that's important, that we treat each other with dignity and respect. What I was going to say, with the animals, we love our animals here, Gadigal country, the whales. We have the whale season now happening. They would come into the harbour here. They would go down to a place called Gomera, which is Darling Harbour, with the little calves. We have a beautiful whale engraving over on Cabaret country, just across there. And we have beautiful animals in there, like the eel, Barra, and the whole creation story about the harbour and everything being created by Barra, part of our spiritual and cultural thoughts that we have and who we are, our identity. And I always think of Barra Marigo and Barra the eel migrating to Pacifica brothers and sisters and connecting with them there. It's important we also respect the animals. Now, I have seen around here the ibis, yes, yes. Please don't call me a bin chicken, no, no. I'm a beautiful bird. It's you, it's humans. You destroyed my wetlands, now I've got to come and live with you guys in the city. Yes, I've had a journey like Aboriginal people, dispossessed of my country, come and live in the city, blame for your situation, not have access to traditional foods that I have. Isn't that the same? Yes? We need to be kind to all the animals too. I think it's so important. It's important we take a moment's silence to pay respects to ancestors. We become ancestors one day. It's also important to pay respects to Mother Earth. She's talking to us louder and louder. It's also important to pay respects to different elders, I said, like the 78ers and others, the different cultures, because we get to interact with them and we like talking with them and having a yarn. We learn about their culture, identity, and who they are and why their food's like that, and and it all has cultural context, and we need to respect all that and to learn. It'd be very boring planet if we were all the same, wouldn't it? Yes, and it's great talking to all the different people. And one other thing, I just wanted to educate you about the word Kumanjai. Everybody's heard about Kumanjai, little baby, obviously, recently. Now, Kumanjai means no name, and it's part of our spiritual and cultural who we are when you think about it. I'm from a science background, so my scientific beliefs, my cultural beliefs and my spiritual beliefs are all entwined. When you think about humans, we're carbon-based, biped, corporeal, electrochemical beings. That's from my science brain. And I am a nerd. And I was going to say, and my spiritual beliefs are that when we pass, we are energy. So energy does not die. We transform. So using the word Kumanjai, the family saying, please respect our culture and our cultural identity and spiritual beliefs. Of course, they're transitioning. We do not want to keep them here. They need to go where they need to. And we always believe our ancestors are always looking down on us and giving us guidance. It's up to us to accept it. So if we have a moment's silence, a moment of reflection of our journey called life, thanks and paying respects. We have these three beautiful rivers. We have to the north the Hawkesbury, also known as Durrabin. We have the Georges and we have the Nepean. These are the aquatic boundaries of our nation. On behalf of Metropolitan, local Aboriginal Land Council, elders and members, welcome everyone here. Party on, one might say, and protest. And it's important to show the love to everyone, have conversations we need to have, but always do it with dignity and respect. So elders and members, welcome everyone here. Always was, always will be Aboriginal land, never ceded. Let's all work and work together for a better society. Thank you.
We are gathered here today not to mourn. We're here to share joy, queer joy. And in the tradition of the queers before us, our protest comes not in the form of misery, but in the form of a party.
We have lost a venue, yes, but we have not lost the party. The Divine Playhouse will ride again. And when it does, we will party, and nobody parties better than us.
We believe that a party is not just a hedonistic pastime, but an expression of the fullness of life. We believe that there is virtue in the practice of debauchery. We believe that there is something to be learned from the people your mother always warned you about.
Today, we celebrate the tenacity of our community. A community of queers, artists, dreamers, and reprobates. People who show courage and humour and resilience at every single turn. Our community which is not defined by being offended by art, but instead by creating it. Today, we celebrate our enormous capacity to love, to include, to embrace, to continue to care for all of humanity, even when we are in crisis.
Today, we celebrate our community's determination to demonstrate more of the qualities of Jesus Christ than our oppressors. It is not them, but us who have turned the other cheek. We are the ones who are making more space at the table. We are the ones who are healing the world. We are the ones who are supporting sex workers. We are the ones who are getting involved. We are the ones who are getting not just dirty hands, but filthy hands.
In the words of our fabulous founder, Cate, they can sing, but we can sing louder. That's right, and in tune, thank God. We know that when we serve our community, we are serving a higher purpose. When we are oppressed or attacked or shamed by others just for existing, we share the emotional burden of our pain and we make new worlds out of it. We are the ones who sing even when we've been shut out.
Which is handy because we keep getting shut out.
The Phoenix,
The Bearded Tit.
The Good God Small Club.
Giant Dwarf.
The Old 505.
Club Frieders.
Ooh, some were priced out, some were locked out, some burned out. This is the harsh reality of being a backbone of a community when the wider world is bearing down on that community.
Not one of these spaces has been replaced. And now, added to that honour roll, the Divine Playhouse.
On the 8th of July, after 10 weeks of graft, hauling a dead heritage building back to life, Cate and so many others banded together to open the Divine Playhouse. 200 seats, cheap enough that an emerging artist, and not just a queer artist, any artist could actually afford to put their work on the stage. Let me tell you, in this economy, that's hard, yeah? 8 days later, padlocked, cleared out, sitting empty, right now, about 900 meters that way.
And the reason on the paperwork. Offensive trade. This was a law about the stench of boiling bones, about the gore of rendering tallow, of tanning hides. It is about the horror of a slaughterhouse that some law people think it is appropriate to extend to drag queens, DJs, queers dancing.
My friends, this is the only truly offensive thing taking place. This is absurd. It is unjust.
But instead of being wounded, we relish in this new title for ourselves. We are offensive trade! We are offensive trade!
We are offensive trade!
We are offensive trade!
We are offensive trade! That's right. That's right. You sound beautiful. Now, let me tell you about the building, the one they've been calling sacred. It stopped being a church 94 years ago. And here's the thing nobody wants to say out loud. That building is only still standing because of heritage protection. It's slated to sit inside a luxury apartment development. Inside, not even outside. And the plan for the sacred space they've rescued from us? Oh, guess what that's gonna be? A food and beverage outlet. They're not protecting a church, they're protecting a shiny new cafe. Sure.
We were asked to change the name before we opened the doors. We listened, and out of respect, we changed the name. They protested anyway. On opening night, men filmed our front door. They were pointing their phones at the Sisters of Divine Perpetual Indulgence, who have practiced their faith in this city for over 30 years. Don't tell me that this was a mockery of faith. There was faith in that room, it just wasn't wearing the right frock.
The art that we make is keeping this city and its cultural legacy alive. Art is not neutral. Art is not passive. Art is blood-pumping, heart-starting, spirit-lifting stuff, yeah? Yeah. This venue was not planned to only be for the queer community. It was for all artists. There are religious and satirical themes on stages across this city and across this country right now. From Doubt at STC to the Book of Mormon at the Capitol. And I'm pretty sure they're not being shut down, hey? So, this protest is not just about the one venue. It's about who gets to decide the future of arts and culture in this state. And it should never just be whoever owns the building. So all you real estate agents, economists, politicians, tourist industry builders, make no mistake. We are what stops this city becoming as clinical as a spreadsheet. Queer joy is not offensive. The performing arts and nightlife of this city makes it one of the best cities in the world. So please, protect us, help us. You need us. And if you're standing here with a room or a warehouse or a hall or a church that's given up on the Holy Ghost, you come talk to us because we are looking for a new home.
What happened was never about the name. It was never about the church. It was never about faith. It was always about us being queer. So let them keep the building. We don't need a building to be a community. We do not serve a property portfolio. We serve our community. We serve culture and we serve face.
Every goddamn day. Now, just try to shut us down. You can't. Look at this. We have each other. Look at this support. Look at this turnout. 18,700 signatures in 7 days. $42,000 for the fight and rising. Hey, they even pulled our socials offline for 4 days. And like Jesus, we came back anyway.
So we might not have the building, but we do have this right here. We have each other, we have a park, and we have a choir. So today, Hyde Park is our church. I'd say that we should consecrate the park, but it already has been. In 1978, a few hundred of us gathered at Taylor Square and followed a truck with a sound system down Oxford Street, and we stopped right here in this park. The police took the truck, they took the sound system, they arrested the driver, and they broke up the group right here under these trees. And back then they were chanting out of the bars and into the streets. Well, they've taken the bar, so here we are in the streets again. 48 years later, no walls, no lease, no landlord, no clause, and no collection plate either.
However, there is a GoFundMe. So please donate to the cause if you can and if you haven't already.
We want to thank all of the supporters that have helped us put this on today. The Odd Culture Group, the City of Sydney for letting us be here, Create New South Wales, and the really long name for the Nighttime Industry Panel of the Board Union.
Who we love very much. Nighttime Economy.
So sorry your name is too long for me to remember.
We need an acronym. We need a pithy acronym. Let's go.
I'm also really enjoying all of the placards. You all look beautiful.
Yes!
It means so much to us that you're here. We'd also like to thank our hero leader, Cate Dopper.
Give it up! Give it up! Working tirelessly, endlessly, into the ground. That is some hard work right there, my friends. That is some community work.
Before we bring up our first speaker, we need something from you.
So, there is a cathedral right there. And I want to know whether we can carry the sound right up there and all the way over the walls, yeah? So, let me hear you. Raise your voices to the heavens, raise your placards, and make some noise for the Divine Playhouse.
Please welcome to the stage Deputy Lord Mayor Jess Miller.
Good afternoon, everybody. All right. I'd also like to begin by acknowledging Michael, Cate, the Pollies, and a few really key people who have been doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes. James, Ash, Richard, Cate. There's so many of you that have made the last 2.5 weeks bearable and winnable. So today, I can't compete with the glamour, so I'm going to talk about the rules, and I'm going to talk about small business. First and foremost, Cate Dopper is very fucking good at her job. For more than a decade in Sydney, she has taken unloved, lazy, grey, boring spaces and she has transformed them into places of joy and celebration and given them life. She has run an incredibly successful independent small business in Sydney in spite of 6 years of lockout laws, which were only finally removed in 2021. She has thrown some of the most memorable parties in places like the Powerhouse, White Bay Power Station, the Gladstone, Oxford Arts, Mardi Gras, Frida's. Hands up if you've been to a Heaps Gay or Cat Dopper party. She always does this on lean budgets, but when you go there, you feel rich. Not only this, but she has either directly or indirectly employed tens of thousands of artists, performers, creatives, as well as hospo workers, sound techs, retailers, security guards, garbos, Uber drivers. She's the queen of the lanyard and the clipboard. She has the greatest merch and has given us some of our most unforgettable nights and days. Incredibly, her contribution is part of the $35 billion visitor economy and Sydney's $19 billion nighttime economy, and that's just within the city of Sydney. Now, Cat Dopper and everything that she has built will not be beaten by Section 129 of the 1919 Conveyancing Act. And that, my friends, is why we're here today, because we will not be beaten by a moralistic and punitive interpretation of a law from the 1840s England, designed to regulate noxious, noisome or offensive art, trade and business occupation. We will not be beaten. Because Cat Dopper, as we all know, is a smooth operator and she did everything right. She ticked all of the boxes. She got her planning permit. She applied for a grant. She got the grant. She did the fit out. She did this in good faith, and when concerns were brought forward, her response was dialogue and compromise. So I find it incredibly offensive, dangerous and discouraging that in Sydney in 2026 that we have to continue to fight for independent creative spaces to exist as part of our nighttime economy. It would be easier to open a casino. And the silence on this from some quarters speaks volumes. There are not millions of venues just waiting to be activated in the city of Sydney. Shame, Chris Mins. And we have lost 177,000 square metres of creative space in the last decade. Now, what this says to the next generations of creators, artists, people who just want to do stuff is, if you have ambition, if you have an idea, if you want to create, if you want to dance, if you want to put on a comedy night, if you want to open a bar or business, you can do everything right, tick every box, even open for 3 days, and still be punished by a landlord via an 1840s rule steeped in moral subjectivity. Right. Now, what this really says is, go to Melbourne. And I find this offensive. 2.5 weeks, I said at the opening of the Divine Playhouse that Cat Dopper's contribution to our creative and nighttime culture as a place for joy, belonging, fun, inclusivity exemplified her contribution to what I think of as Sydney's creative cathedral community. We inherit our creativity and our culture from the communities that came before us, our First Nations artists, the creatives all the way back to the days of the cross, the charm school painters at Elizabeth House, Brett and Wendy Whiteley at Lavender Bay, Lay Girls, the 78ers, the Bearded Tit, Clambake, the Vibe Tribe, Tyson Co, and Keep Sydney Open. It is now our responsibility to protect it, add layers, fortify its walls, and we do this for future generations. I have no doubt that one day Cate Dopper's infamous parties and the places that she has created and the feelings that she has given us will be the backdrops to the memories that we treasure, and we'll say to our kids, remember that party? And they won't know what we're talking about, but we all will. Because we all know that this whole thing was never about a building, it's all about power. And today is about supporting, protecting and fortifying our creative community for the next generation. And this is a fight not only worth having, but a fight worth winning. Thanks.
Much, Jess. Let me hear ya. We are Offensive Trade.
We are Offensive Trade.
We are Offensive Trade.
We are Offensive Trade.
Oh, nothing like a little bit of reclamation in the morning. We love that. Yes, it's morning for cabaret performers, just so you know. Okay. I'm going to bring up our next guest speaker, the fabulous Jess Miller, who is reading a statement from Minister John Graham. Please make them welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you everyone for having me here today on unceded Gadigal land. I'm an out and proud queer councillor on the Inner West Council, and I'm proud to be here today representing Labor. I'm proud to be here on behalf of many of my colleagues, my comrades and my community. Labor has been clear in our position. We don't want to fuel culture wars on any front. Labor believes that the role of arts and culture is to help people find and connect with their community, a place to explore ideas, a place to build empathy and understanding. And sometimes that means holding space for opposing views to exist. I am proud that in the face of many complaints about culture programs, that the Labor government does not cancel artists. I acknowledge and respect the hard work, the professionalism and the heart that goes into creating safe and inclusive spaces. People like Cate Dopper have committed their lives to creating these spaces for us. From White Bay to the back streets of Marrickville, from the Pride Centre to opening the Divine Playhouse, Cate has built spaces where our community can connect, celebrate and dance. Labor has been clear in our position. We support the queer community. When the opposition called to defund Mardi Gras this year, Ministers John Graham and Penny Sharp swiftly and resoundingly shut that down and made it absolutely clear. Labor proudly supports Mardi Gras. When attempts emerged to ban books depicting same-sex families, the Labor government changed the law to ensure that book banning has no place in New South Wales. Our LGBTQI community in Sydney is one of the defining parts of our identity and what makes Sydney great. Labor has been very clear. We will not accept book banning. We will not cancel artists and we will not accept culture wars. I'd like to share a few words on behalf of the Minister for the Arts, Music and the Nighttime Economy, John Graham, who is at National Conference and unable to be here today. He says, the Divine Playhouse closing its doors is a step backwards for Sydney. We have already lost hundreds of venues in Sydney. We need more performance spaces and venues, not less. Thanks to Cate and the Heaps Gay team for their work over the years to make Sydney diverse and vibrant. We will support them to work out what comes next, but also to join a broader roundtable to discuss support for safe and inclusive spaces for our queer community. Thank you very much, everyone. I'm proud to stand with you today.
We're here, we're queer, we just somewhere nice to get a beer. We're here, we're queer, we just want somewhere nice to have a beer. I just want to be clear about something. The Divine Playhouse is not going anywhere. It still exists. In coming times, there will be announcements about events and things, and we'd really like you to support them to prove that we need these spaces. Divine Playhouse is coming back with a vengeance. You will find out about this soon with some exciting announcements that I'm not allowed to say. No, I'm not allowed to say. I was looking for a nod. Please welcome to the stage our next speaker today, Cate Faehrmann from the New South Wales Green Party.
Well, don't you all look freaking gorgeous? Thank you, Sydney. And thanks, Johnny and everyone for putting on this incredible event. Of course, I want to begin by acknowledging that we're gathered here today on Gadigal land. The land was stolen, sovereignty was never ceded. It always was, always will be Aboriginal land. And I also want to acknowledge all the sister girls and brother boys who have made such an extraordinary contribution to Sydney's queer community who are here today. My name is Cate Faehrmann. I'm a Greens MP. I'm the party's spokesperson on arts, music, nighttime economy. I'm always also somebody who has gone to queer parties, queer dance parties for, I hate to say, 35 years. And she ain't stopping anytime soon. So I know that Divine Playhouse, like in all its fabulousness, creativity and outrageousness, wasn't really doing anything more than countless queer spaces, clubs, parties, performances, parades, protests and artistic works here in Sydney, all around the world for decades. Queer people have always used art, performance, satire, music, costume and celebration to challenge power and push boundaries, whether it be governments, religions or gender norms. That is not something new. And it's certainly not something that anybody should be apologising for or running away from. Which is why what has happened with Divine Playhouse in Sydney in 2026 has shocked and angered so many of us, and why it's so important that we fight back at a time when we are seeing increasing attacks on LGBTQIA plus communities right across the world, at a time when far-right movements are gaining confidence, and at a time when our rights that we once thought were secure are being challenged again. We just can't stand by while a queer arts venue is shut down because of an orchestrated campaign against it because of the fact it was queer. And I tell you what, it wasn't lost on me that, actually probably every single one of you as well, that this has happened just weeks after the police blitz on Universal nightclub and the outrageous harassment of patrons and staff and drag queens and performers just a couple of weeks ago by police officers that night. And I have to say, where was the government then? Like, where was the government saying that that is unacceptable? That is totally unacceptable behaviour. What about Divine Playhouse and Heaps Gay? When they really needed the government, where were they? So we know when asked by the media, the Premier said he found it hard to believe it was the best location. A a building that had ceased to be a church like almost a century ago. And he said that there were millions of venues across the country, but don't worry, because it was his personal view. What Cate Doppler and the team at Heapsgate really needed from the Premier at that moment was leadership and support. What they needed was a clear message that whether or not some people agreed with what they were doing, they had every right to do it. Better still, they needed to hear from the Premier of this state, the Labor Premier of this state, that the queer community is valued. That there is zero tolerance from the government, zero tolerance for discrimination or attacks by anyone, including right-wing religious zealots, and that queer artists have every right to create, perform and gather in this city. So instead, the Premier's words to the media, like it was to the media when asked his position on it, validated the actions of the very people who wanted to shut Divine Playhouse down. The Minns Labor government talks up a really big game when it comes to vibrancy reform. Well, I hate to say it, John Graham, but there is nothing vibrant or global or world-class about a city that allows its queer community to be targeted. And for queer partygoers, for queer performers to be harassed, and for queer spaces to be shut down in 2026. So I say to John Graham and I say to the Premier, Cate Doppler and Heapsgate should not be left to fight a billionaire developer alone. So I'm calling, and I'm sure everybody here is as well, calling on the government to do everything they can to support them, find them a new venue, and how about some emergency relief funding too? Because if we allow this to simply happen to Heapsgate, every queer and independent artist, venue operator and creative organisation in this state will receive the same message. Don't challenge anyone. Don't make anyone uncomfortable. Don't take risks. Keep everything to yourself. Well, that's not art, it's not our queer community, and it's certainly not the Sydney we all knew and loved and we want back. We really want it back. So before I finish, I know that Cate Doppler and the team, they've received support from many people of faith, Christians, Catholics, people who have reached out to them to let them know that the orchestrated attack against Divine Playhouse doesn't represent their views nor all people of faith. It represents a loud and organised extreme minority. So it's so important we don't allow that minority to define our city. Finally, thank you, Cate. Thank you to the entire Heapsgate crew. Thank you for standing your ground and for fighting back. And thank you for showing those who need to be shown what Sydney's queer community is made of. And to those who sought to shut Divine Playhouse down, we will keep showing up. We will keep speaking out. We will keep creating. We will keep dancing. And we will keep fighting. And we will stand with Heapsgate all the way. Won't we? Say it with me. All the way with Heapsgate. All the way with Heapsgate. All the way with Heapsgate. Thank you, everybody.
In the organising of this protest today, we understand that there is a disproportionate amount of people in our community that have ADHD. So we're just putting a pause on the speeches for a second and we're going to have a sing-song. Please turn in your hymn books to page 2, one of the divine prayers from a litany of pop songs. This is the Divine Playhouse Players with Like a Prayer.
Life is a mystery. Everyone must stand alone. I hear you call my name, and it feels
I'd say the numbers have swollen now since I was in the front there, sat down. There's definitely several hundred, bordering on more. Anyway, I need a bubble. I need a drink.
The Divine Playhouse, it was made by the queer community, for the queer community, but there was no exclusions on that. It was for, in the words of Vanessa Amorosi, absolutely everybody in the whole wide world. It would be unfair to say that Christians at large hated the venue. That is not true. It was a tiny minority of Christians that hated it. I'm so excited about our next speaker. Reverend John Owen is coming to speak to us from the Wayside Chapel. He is a man of faith, a faith which includes all people, like our queer agenda includes all people. So I would like you to welcome him and pay your respect to this beautiful man of God.
Hello. I feel very underdressed on this occasion. Don't you all look so magnificent? Yes! You are beautiful. You are loved. You are seen. So thank you for coming out in such joy today. Thank you. I'm not sure how I woke up in a world where religion and art have become separated from one another. There's a long history, a long, rich, challenging history that provokes. That is what art is. One of the reasons we have art is to provoke us into deeper understandings of what this whole thing is about. And I just come to say that at Wayside we see you, we love you, you are always welcome. We have many queer leaders in our community, pastors, ministers, including a trans minister as well. Because and I want to say to any queer people of faith out there that you do not need to change. Right? Look, and at the heart of what the Divine Playhouse was doing was about bringing people together to celebrate to provoke, and to be together in a safe place. Who could be against that? Right? Yeah. And look, the reasons we express joy are deeply personal, and that diversity is actually what makes us stronger as humans. And I don't think the theatre was ever designed to offend or exclude, and quite the opposite. It was created as a place for you and me to connect and to express yourselves and to spark joy. And look, you know, to those who can't see the beauty and the magnificence of what I can see before me, I acknowledge that you are invited to dialogue, because we live in a world where we're tearing each other apart. You know, our vision at Wayside is love over hate. How do we live in between housed and homeless, the rich and the poor, the gendered and the non-binary, and live in a way that love can prevail? And that means you've got to walk a very narrow path, and it's so wonderful to see so many people out there walking a narrow path in love, in joy, in celebration, because right now we live in a world that says pick up a keyboard and fight, you know, and there's been a weaponizing of a false dichotomy here, and but I see the damage it does. I have 3 children, 2 are queer and 1 is gay, and so but I see firsthand when the queer community is weaponised for other people's agendas, the damage and the hurt it does. And that is not okay. And that is what we stand against as well here. I thank Anthony Van Brown for being here, Tony Van Brown. Can we give him a round of applause? A brother who has fought the good fight. Look, I'm not going to say anything more other than to say, as a Reverend, I believe God has a wonderful sense of humour, and she delights in diversity. So thank you, and keep being magnificent. Big round of applause to you.
Thank you, Reverend. Let's hear it for the Wayside Chapel. They have been at the queer community side from the very beginning. Yes? Oh. Now, as the co-artistic director of a very small art space, you may have heard of it. It's called The Haze. We do some stuff. We do a little bit of musical theatre, we do a little bit of cabaret, we do exactly what the Divine Playhouse was set up to do as well. So seeing a place like this shut down is very, very close to my heart. Not just about losing the spaces, but in losing the employment for our artists. And not just our artists, our makers, our theatre makers, yes? Our designers, our tech people, the front of house staff, the bar staff. Employment that our government is constantly trying to solve the issue of. We gave them a solution. Where is the support, yeah? Where is the support for it to keep going? So, the arts industry, as we know, is a volatile place. And I want to bring up an incredible human who is doing a lot of great work there. I want to welcome to the stage Charley Allanah, a writer, a director, a performer, and the co-chair of our union, the MEAA Diversity Committee. Please make them welcome.
Thank you. Hello, my friends. My name is Charley Allanah, and I am a queer and trans artist. I live and work and love here on this country where the Gadigal people have been custodians through deep time. And while the building that we are here to talk about was handed to somebody else willingly by the church 94 years ago, the bit of land that it sits on never was. And if we want to talk about desecrating the sacred symbols of those who have made their home in a place before we got here, all of us, including Rebella, and including all of us here, would be well to remember the Gadigal songlines and the sacred sites that were the record and mnemonic to their cultural memory, and how many desecrated sites that are here, and the responsibilities that we have for restoration and respect. This place was and always will be Aboriginal land. Today I'm speaking to you on behalf of MEAA, the Media Entertainment and Arts Alliance, which is your union, for all creative and media workers, and I have the privilege to say that MEAA stands in solidarity with us here today, in solidarity with the Divine Playhouse team and all of the artists and collectives who have lost work due to the closure of the Divine Playhouse. We are appalled by the inequity and injustice of this situation. Australia's arts sector, in all its strength and beauty, fundamentally depends on your many diverse voices and diverse spaces like Divine Playhouse. It depends on spaces where diverse creative workers can develop their practice, build careers and connect with audiences. And without spaces like Divine Playhouse, our culture and our community are much, much poorer. The forced closure of Divine Playhouse is an attack on our freedom of expression as queer people and an attack on our community, and the queer community is at the centre of what makes Sydney special. Yes, the very centre. When I was a queer kid growing up in Canberra, right at the beginning of this century, Sydney's queer venues, Oxford Street and the Cross, but more all of the converted makeshift warehouse pop-up underground spaces that once littered this city, they were like Mecca to me. They were a pilgrimage that I made, I'm going to get emotional, they were a pilgrimage that I made time and again to come and learn how queer people live and love and congregate. And they were where I learned the ways we express ourselves and build our community, and to be celebrated and not censored, and that we are not depraved but divine. That's why it makes me so angry that in the 20 years since then, our value to this city has so often been ignored while population numbers and property values climbed on the basis of a culture that we created. The money people who followed our culture to the city and built big empty buildings became billionaires. Meanwhile, the people who sewed and shimmied and stomped and sang and told stories of queer joy and created the conditions for that culture to grow so rich, we have been slowly pushed to the margins. Right. Almost out of sight and often out of pocket, asked to pay bigger and bigger rents on the few spaces that we are allowed to borrow from the billionaires. Shame. Let us be clear, Divine Playhouse was all but alone in the city of Sydney in being truly open, accessible and affordable to our breadth and diversity of queer artists. One of a tiny handful of public spaces together that we could still claim in the city we built. If our live performance industry is in crisis, and I think it is undeniable that our live performance industry is in some degree of crisis, it is because of this extraction of our work and our worth and similar extractive practices that affect our entire sector, our cultures and our cities used to make billionaires richer while they ignore or attack our ability to come together and share and sing songs and tell stories. And those attacks, this attack, cuts right to the heart of how we heal ourselves as a community, how we help the next generation of queer kids and anyone who is different or diverse to see that they are cherished. It's a great shame and a stain on this city that it may now be harder than when I was 18, 20 years ago for those kids to see and know that they are celebrated as part of a legacy of glorious, diverse queer expression. Divine Playhouse was one space where they could still discover that, and we will get it back on our terms. Because this campaign, this gathering, this outpouring of support from right across the city are revealing the hypocrisy and the homophobia and the hatred and the hubris for what they are. Because while they try to silence us, we loudly celebrate the joyous cacophony of different voices contributing to the same complex song. They might drone inherited hymns in some tired unison as protest, but we are going to raise our voices in radical joy and radical acceptance. We make it impossible to deny that we are present and proud and strong, not because we are the same, but because we are a community unified by our incredible, beautiful diversity. You know what we need to do. It's been said all afternoon and you're doing it right now. The union movement knows it, the queer community knows it. We don't leave people to fight these fights alone. We show up, we stand up, we keep singing with new parts and new people joining all the time, and it's weirder and it's longer and louder until it's impossible to deny that our song, with its 16-part harmonies and counter melodies and rounds and canons and changes of time signature and key signatures and notes that aren't in any musical key ever previously annotated, the instinctive harmony of diversity united, that is the actual song of this city. Divine Playhouse is worth protecting for what it is in and of itself, but it's also now a symbol of the fact that we are not going to be punished and pushed out and silenced anymore. We made this city, and we're not billionaires, so between them, the moneyed people can afford to give us some space to share and sing at a price that we can afford and that all of our audiences can afford. As is true in other fights in the live performance industry right now, because they are in some ways all the same complex fight, we will have to hold their hands and steer them towards the solutions every step of the way. But we know they can afford it, and they know deep down that they can't afford to lose us. So to Cate and to everyone who is part of Divine Playhouse and Heaps Gay, all the events over the last decade and longer, and all the other queer and diverse artists and voices that are the very fabric of Sydney, MEAA sees you and stands with you in this fight to make your voices and stories heard. And MEAA members want you to know that in our union, you are seen and you are absolutely integral. Just as your influence can be seen everywhere in this city, and you are absolutely integral to this city. And I hope that after today, you know how strong and special your voices are, and how many people are singing in harmony with you across the country. And I hope that knowledge galvanizes all of us to keep singing together. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Charley Allanah, I love you. Thank you so much. Your example of leadership in this community is second to none. Your wisdom, your community in action, we are so lucky to have you. Thank you. Our next speaker today is not just a drag queen. They are a true representative of this community. They have been involved in this project since day dot. They've been there getting their hands dirty, not just on the stage, but back of house as well. They're constantly organising, constantly rallying people together. They speak with wisdom and truth. Please welcome Etcetera Etcetera.
I am a queer artist and I am proud of it. Proud of being queer because it is the body I grew up in. The body that gave me the opportunities to be who I am today. And a body that believes in freedom of speech and artistic expression. I am also proud of being an artist because that is my community's heritage. And because it is the reason I am passionate about the things that I believe in. It is also the reason that my blood boils when I am misunderstood or unfairly judged for my beliefs and lifestyle. I am aware that certain communities are accusing our show of being sinful and blasphemous. They are trying to keep people from seeing it. Basta, por favor! If you are sure that I am a sinner, let he who has not sinned cast the first stone. If you are not sure, then I beg of you, as righteous men and women of the Catholic Church that worship a God who loves unconditionally, to see our show and then judge us. Our show is not conventional, but a theatrical presentation of our identity. And like theatre, it asks questions, provokes thoughts, and takes us on an emotional journey, portraying good and bad, light and dark, joy and sorrow, redemption and salvation. I do not endorse a way of life, but describe one. and the audience is left to make its own decisions and judgments. This is what I consider freedom of speech, freedom of expression, and freedom of thought. To prevent us from performing, you are saying that you do not believe in these freedoms. If you do not believe in these freedoms, you are imprisoning everyone's mind. When a mind is imprisoned, then our spiritual light dies. When a spirit dies, there is no reason to live. Every night before I go on stage, I say a prayer. Not only that my show will go well, obviously, but that the audience will watch with an open heart and an open mind and see it as a celebration of everything that is love, life, and humanity. Most of those were Madonna's words, not mine. When the Vatican tried to shut down her show, she gave this speech in basically the same version. And it's crazy that more than 30 years later, the same words resonate today when art is being curtailed by the lifestyles of people who do not understand us, who do not wish to sit at our table and have a conversation. They will only judge. Shame! Shame! So now these are my words. This is our religion. We as people who are different have been shunned for our difference, have created our own cathedrals of love. And the reason they're scared, these are ones you cannot indoctrinate with their agenda. So today, I'll leave you with this. Do not let anyone ever tell you that our spaces, built with love, built with dreams, are worth less than any other space of faith. Basta, por favor! I've heard it all before, and I can't take it anymore. Thank you!
Truly our Madonna. Give it up again. Oh, the power. My darling hearts. We have a couple more speeches to go, and then we are going to get in and sing some more songs, yes? But before that happens, I want to welcome back our Deputy Mayor, Jess Miller. She's had an outfit change. She read the brief. She knows what's up. Reading a statement from independent politician Alex Greenwich. Please make her welcome.
Hi. Hi, I'm Alex Greenwich. Alex says he's really sorry he can't be here in person today, but he's here in spirit. I'm incredibly grateful for your passion and determination to get our city back on the dance floor. Sydney is a global city, but that reputation is being undermined by decisions that are making our nightlife smaller, less vibrant, and less welcoming. Police operations during Pride Month, where partygoers were told by police, "Go to Melbourne if you don't like it." The ridiculous ending of the Divine Playhouse and a continued reliance on poker machine revenue for venues are taking us all in the wrong direction. Here's what we've lost, and in addition to that long list that Aunty Jonny went through earlier, the Divine Playhouse, the Stonewall Hotel on Oxford Street, and more than $500 million lost to poker machines across the city of Sydney. And we can do better. I'm committed to working with you to reset our priorities and back the artists, performers, promoters, venue operators and creatives who make Sydney one of the world's greatest cities. A thriving nightlife isn't just good for culture, it's good for jobs, small business, tourism and community and all of our well-being. Together with Deputy Lord Mayor Jess Miller, that's me, Minister John Graham and the 24-Hour Economy Commissioner, we'll soon bring together venues, promoters, artists and creatives to listen and identify the barriers and take action to get Sydney dancing again. So let's cut the unnecessary red tape, stop the culture wars and build a city where people can safely enjoy live music, performance, nightlife and community.
Let's get Sydney dancing again. I am obviously not Alex Greenwich, but we know that, and this is not Alex's words, but I'm just ad-libbing here, but I think it's really, this last point is really important because Alex, as we know, is always really good at thinking about, well, what do we do from here? And I think this coming together and really listening about the issues is really important. So I'm not Alex Greenwich. I love him dearly. He wishes he was here tonight, this morning, this afternoon, today. He's not, he's elsewhere where it is actually this evening. But he thanks you all for being here, and I'll send all of your love back to him via WhatsApp. So thanks.
Just before coming on stage, Sydney icon and writer Fiona Kelly McGregor pointed out a historical fact to me, that this fountain, the Archibald Fountain, in the 20s was a gay beat. It was a cruising spot. And I think that our next speaker might find it quite honouring if during his speech, if you notice someone looking at you with intention, ask yourself, what would Jesus do? And so a little bit of frottage or heavy petting is encouraged. Please welcome to the stage, Benjamin Law.
Hey, can we make some noise for Victoria and Aunty Jonny, who have been standing out in the hot sun in synthetic fibres, because that is queer culture right there and then. And being here on Gadigal land is also queer culture. First Nations people on this continent are the oldest continuing civilization, which means they are the oldest continuing queer community. Hot Sydney queers, you all look so beautiful, and it is really weird seeing you during daylight hours. I wish we didn't have to be here today. In an ideal world, we'd be happily hungover, coming down, or still asleep after partying at Divine Playhouse. But it is beautiful to be amongst queer community today, and I want to make this point. There is no community without queer people. There is no family tree without queer people. There is no ethnic diaspora without queer people. There is no school or university or workplace without queer people. There is no sporting code, especially AFLW, without queer people. There is no synagogue, mosque or temple without queer people, and there is no decent party without queer people. We love you straight people, but your parties are fucked. And there is no Christian church without queer people. This us versus them narrative, queers versus Christians, it's bullshit. It is an insult to the Christian churches like Wayside who embrace and protect queer people. It excludes queer Christians. And those men picketing Divine Playhouse, and it is mostly men, those men who are picketing Divine Playhouse in their 10s and 10s, they may represent poor lifestyle and fashion choices, but they do not represent religion, they do not represent Christianity, they do not represent Jesus Christ, who, by the way, 12 years of Christian education taught me, was an outcast who hung out with sex workers, the marginalised, and anyone viewed as immoral by religious leaders of the day. Does that sound familiar to you? Jesus would have loved Divine Playhouse and everyone who plays in it. Like many of you here, I have been queer for my entire life now. But like many of you here, I did not find community until I moved to Sydney and found parties at the Bearded Tit, at Late Night Queer Dance, at Leak Your Own Nudes, at Sublet and Hotline and Flash, sorry mum, and at the various lesbian parties I've heard very good things about. And so many of us have found that community at Heaps Gay and the spaces that Cate Dopper and Cate's community have forged with so much hard work for so many of us. And I was looking forward to being with my community in that sacred space that is and was Divine Playhouse. Here's the thing, queer people have sacred spaces too. And in the worst of the AIDS crisis, queers had one place to grieve and let off steam and find each other and gather, and that was at parties. So these attacks on Divine Playhouse in Sydney are attacks on our community, they are attacks on our history, and it's an attack on how we connect. It is unspeakably cruel and hateful that Divine Playhouse is going dark, but the fight is not over. And for those of us who have been complacent after the win for same-sex marriage, let this be a sobering reminder that there is still such a long way to go. This is about Divine Playhouse, but it's also about medical treatment being denied young trans people in Queensland. This is about Divine Playhouse, and it's also about the fact that conversion therapy is still legal in WA, Tasmania and NT. This is about Divine Playhouse, and it's also about this federal government refusing to accept LGBTIQA+ recommendations during a UN human rights peer review. And this is about independent queer arts venues being shut down at the whims of religious extremists and homophobes. But in all of our despair and anger, we have solidarity and community. LGBTIQA+. Look, we're a hot mess of letters and identities. But we are an organised hot mess. Whether you are lesbian, trans, cis, gay, non-binary, bisexual, asexual, heterosexual, or otherwise, join us. Sign the petition, donate to the legal fund, write to the landlords, and finally make some noise of gratitude for Cate Dopper and everyone who made Divine Playhouse possible for this brief and beautiful moment. Thank you.
I didn't. But maybe later. Friends, that concludes the speeches. We promised you not just a protest, but a sing-in. And we want to hear you singing. So take a moment and look up the lyrics on your phone to Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now by Starship. This song was the request of our fearless leader, Cate Dopper.
Okay, well it's pretty much over with the speeches. I don't think there's a march. They didn't advertise a march. So now everyone's just, they're going to have some more the sing-in. There's a bit of news media here, which I don't know who she is, but obviously, yeah, I don't know who anyone is in that group, but it's hard to tell. But anyway, so you see a Palestinian flag and a union flag, MEAU, I don't know who that is. Yeah, that's kind of it. I think I might just float around for a few more minutes. Yeah. Well, that might do it for me. Yeah, it's unfortunately some of the things that happen, but it's just mainly these kind of more extreme types that once they see me, it's like, yeah. Anyway, but that all that aside, I can handle a couple of bumps and whacks. So it's just unfortunate. All right, so that's it. There's just more singing and clapping, and it's beautiful. It's actually a stunning bloody middle of winter Sydney day. All right, so yeah, I can wrap it on longer, but I won't. I'm gonna go. All right, they seem to be having, I think this is the last song. She just called up the, sorry, I've missed a bit just then. They just called up the crew from the Playhouse. Well, they all have unholy shirts on, so I don't remember what she actually said. But yeah, not sure about this guy's flag either. It's kind of a combo rainbow and Australian flag. So yeah, it'll just be a little bit more of this, and I'm gonna pretty much call it a day and head off. I've got something else to get to, so yeah, I'll post it all up, and yeah, that's the end of this one for today. I believe in a month, on the 23rd of August, there will be roughly a month, less than a month. There'll be a protest here called I think it's the Giggle versus Tickle saga, if anyone's been following that. Tomorrow I'm off to the APRA headquarters in the city, which is a protest put on by a Palestinian group. So that's it for now. Over and out. I'm just heading back from the protest now. That's Hyde Park just there, that's on the corner. So I've just come out of the park. I can hear the music a little bit in the background. Oh, it's not the same if I don't do a little rant about the bikes. If I don't rant on for at least 10 minutes, I'll spare you 10 minutes. But let's, if you could do the count. I just went past a whole bunch. I should have started filming. There's a whole bunch on the other side of the road. There's one there. There's several here. There's another whole bunch parked here. It's the ones that are lined up. See those ones? They're all just freshly plonked. Let's go across while we get a chance. And they have a lot of. They generally. Consist of having a lot of garbage in them. They call them the mobile garbage bins. But then when you get a whole bunch here like this, what do we got? The count is I don't know what. You get a few flags. Oh, there's a whole bunch of someone's stuff in here. What's this? All sorts of bloody stuff. The whole wallet full of concession cards and all sorts of bloody things with my fingerprints all over it. But anyway, that's kind of a standard one. Coke can, usually a coffee cup, bottle of tissue, dirty old tissue. This one is the common one too, the chicken nuggets from Woolies or Coles. Always find the chicken nugget things, and then you'll find them all fallen over. So this one here, it's fallen on the other side, all the way down there, over there. There's heaps more. Get across before this guy comes. These ones, yeah, very common that they're just over like that. If they're not full of rubbish already, the rubbish just falls out. This is a new toilet thing. There you go. Just all the way up here. Here they are. No durries. The packs of durries. The poor homeless probably go and open it every 5 minutes to try and get one. There's someone's heater they're just throwing out. But again, yeah, across the street there's more. All the way along. This is Park Street. Look at this, all the way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Can't count them all. There's so many there. They're inside there too. They're over the street. And that's outside the Gadigal station. More and more and more. Rubbish in each one. What's this one? Oh, someone's got some razor blades. You put my hand in there. It's always a drink, a straw, a feral paper straw, which is saving the world. And on they go. Coffee cup being dumped out. More and 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 more. These are all lined up because these are the ones the guys, they sneak in at night, and I've watched them do it with their van, and they just load more up. And then they put them all there, and then someone's there's kebab in that one. Old kebab, half eaten probably. This one, you get a pizza box. There's another sandwich. Someone's had a sanger and a coffee. Pizza box in that one. And then the guy who actually can have a bin, he just locks his so no one can use it because it'd be full as well. Fucking finale. The bloody cranky bus driver, not happy that someone's half in his lane. What do you got here? A packet of cheesels. Oh, look at this one. You got the chips. You get in there, get a few chips. You got chicken nuggets. Always the chicken nuggets. Always the nuggets. A few more drinks. Lots of stuff in there. There's more in that where that guy's having his durry. This one's loaded up too. You got drinks, ice break, coffee, water, all sorts of shit. Over the road, another fresh batch just lobbed up. And what they do, they dump them all, dump, and then the last one they put all the rubbish in. The guys that dump it all there. It just doesn't stop. Let's go while we get no chance. Get over here. Yeah. He's the crankiest freaking bus driver you'll ever see, that one. All right, we made it. And then here, this is, like I said, Gadigal Station. A few more dumped here. There's a free hat for someone. Channel 9. It's at Channel 9 today. That's a collector's item. I'm going to score that one. Yeah, I wake up with today. Channel 9. That's Carl's. I think that's Carl's hat he left when he walked out. Durries, coffees, usual. Now down this street there'll be more. Usually, there was a whole bunch of 4. Oh, and here's another thing. All of us. What did I say? I won't go over 5, so nearly 4. You get them all here, all the way down the street as well. They're all lined up here. Lots of rubbish. 9 hat. And now the council, and they're all of them. Oh, this is different. Oh no, it isn't. They all have these metal bars here. This is different because it hasn't been smashed yet. But they all have them in these metal bars where they the council's just come and put all this in, and you get a bike parking now. So this is where they're supposed to be, but they're not. Bit of what's this? Some dinner, someone's dinner. Blah blah blah. On and on it goes. Sorry, mate. Now over the street. Yeah, I think. Well, we call it. I want to get across, but I'm not going to have much luck with these cars after this one. Other side there. I missed that side. Chock-a-block. Everywhere. These are the freshly put down ones. They're all facing the same way. They're all quite neat, tidy. And I'm assuming I don't know, these ones as well. They're just everywhere. I mean, it's just an over the street, like, anyway. The purpose of it all is, I can rabbit on about my conspiracy theories here for a minute. Oh, yeah, this is outside Hungry Jack's, so of course it's chock-a-block with Hungry Jack's, coffees, hungry coffee. Oh, fuck, a bit of shit on my hand then. A black glove. Someone wanted to wear their glove while they rode, but then they just throw them in there afterwards. and more. Let's go. We're gonna make this. We're gonna make it. Oh, fucking bust. He'll give me a beat. No, he won't. Legend. All right. So then you come along here, and there's more, and there's more, and there's more, and there's more. They just continue on. It's amazing. There's not any fallen over, but it's usually on a windy day. What's this? Rave on Saturday. Yeah. Go to the dubstep riot. This one is right next to a bin, so they have the option of this, the mobile bin or the actual bin. So most people have been good and chosen the bin. And when you come down, we'll get down to Town Hall, then we'll call it a day. 5 minutes 40, sorry, it's gone slightly over. You've got a few. Oh, here we go. Now finally you see someone using it. It's always the same. It's kind of always a younger crowd. They just want to go from A to B. They'll probably ride for 2 minutes. Here you got a whole bunch of this is homeless. Please don't touch. This is Jim's all his shit that he has. Got a few more big bins here. These girls are going to use them finally. So finally someone's using them. And they'll move them. Yeah, they'll just move them up the street and then dump them somewhere up the road. Oh yeah, here's the ones I was talking about. So these ones, because no one knows these are here, they're always getting smashed, and they're all on a bit of a wonky smashed angle. You got some guy with his Uber Eats just parked his one up. More bins, more mobile bins, and then we're down at Town Hall. Now you got Ukrainians and you got Christians, and a lady flogging the big issue, which is not what it is. I just bought one. Yeah. So I don't know why the Ukrainians have a selection of flags. They have the Christians just have the Australian flag. Not that many bikes here. A few more over there. Oh, over there, everywhere they are. The Christians have they've got a kind of an Aboriginal flaggy thing. A couple of Aussie flags. Up on the building, you'll get an Aboriginal, Australian, and Torres Strait Islander. In the middle, they had a Ukrainian flag there for a while. Every year they have the pride flag. This guy films for the Ukrainians all the time. Ukrainians in Sydney today, they have a bunch of stuff going on. So yeah, it's they protested a couple of days ago. I didn't go, but they protested at the what's this group? I'm having some sort of circle. Part of my burping. Yeah, the Ukrainians protested because the Russian water polo team was there or something. There was some reason they were out at Sydney Park, at the Olympic Park. So yeah, these guys, maybe it's just I don't know what the hell that is. And these guys, they have this, it's kind of a thing. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but yeah. So We the Free. It's called We the Free. So I'll come back to that later. And then up here, there's another Christian guy, and then that'll do. That was my bike rant gone crazy. So 8 minutes. That's not too bad. I'll throw this at the end for all the aficionados of my bike rants. Enjoy. anymore. He's a different guy from the usual one. Thanks, mate. And then this lady, no, thank you. And this lady, she sets up her stall of odds and sods here that you can get pretty much on a daily basis. So there you go. That's it, done.